Hello and welcome to Nollywood Film Club. I'm Mr. C, a Morocco critic. I hope you're doing well. Um, sorry this is late. You don't know what I've done. You don't know the the sleepless night I have done to make this happen today. But I said I will not leave this 2 weeks 2 weeks without the podcast going up. So here you are. This episode was very nice and short, as you can see, and it was very passionate and very interesting, and it's one I will be listening to myself. I hope you enjoy Nollywood Film Club having some rants and bants.
Okay, so you have things you want to discuss. Okay, cool, sweet. All right, welcome to Nollywood Film Club. We do discuss Nollywood movies or topics every Sunday, 6 p.m. Watts. Sometimes we discuss movies. Sometimes we just come and we don't even really have, but we shall talk. We too talk. Yeah, today it's just a hangout session. So it's just whatever's on our mind, and then whatever we've been watching this week, and maybe what's something we want to recommend. Ella has joined us, by the way.
Oh, hi, Al.
Hi, Ella. I don't know if you have anything on your mind, anything that you wanted to discuss.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. So I have a couple of things on my mind. So I don't know if I should go ahead now or
Go ahead.
Good evening, family. So one of the things that was pressing on my mind is this: there was an accident on a set last month where a crew member died. And the way the death was being, it was just my birthday and I got a call and someone was telling me something happened. I said, what happened? Then to hear what happened is just so disgusting. I don't know the producer. I've sent the producer a message. I've sent her a message. I don't know her, but I've sent her a message. But my thing is, I posted about it this week on my page. My issue is the crew members and the actors that continued work. My issue is not even with the producer. We're going to deal with the producer later. I've told her she would never have anything filmed to do in Nigeria. I stand on that. Anywhere where the girl they shoot, anybody that knows me know, I will drive there. Anybody that knows me in this industry know. Anybody, anytime. Anybody that knows anything know, I will drive there. I don't care if you're a veteran. The same way I would drag Jide Kosoko from top to bottom, I will fucking drag you. I don't have no issues.
And so, can you tell us because I haven't heard of the details. I heard about this.
The hashtag is Justice for Lawal. So they were filming near the water. I think it's a river. They were filming in the evening or at night. The boy fell into a deep part of the water. There was no life jacket. There was nothing. Guess what? Accidents do happen. They tried to find the boy. Some people that could swim, part of the crew went in. They tried to find the boy. You know how water is. They couldn't find the view was not there. It was dark. They couldn't get the boy. Few days later, the boy's body came out. But my thing is, that particular day that the boy fell into the water, I made calls. The producer told them to keep filming. That there are some goats as actors in our midst and crew members. We can't keep fighting for these people if you won't fight for yourself. I don't care how much I was being paid. That you guys, someone could possibly be dead and we continued to work. That was a slap to my face. There's no saving us. That's not saving us. We as humans, most humans are just evil. that the producer would tell you that I have a flight to catch. I have a flight that has already been booked. So business must go on as usual. Immediately the production was over, she was out. And she sent people to the boys' family. And, the boys' family are talking about the way they were being treated was bad. It took this girl from May 31st till I think about 2 days ago to actually post about one stupid press release, whatever, on her Instagram. Again, who are the people holding people accountable? We humans, what's wrong with us? That's, by the way, I'm done with that one. Number 2 thing is, we talk about the fact that, if we think YouTube has reached the height of oversaturation, and I even tell people, I ask them, don't you guys have YouTube fatigue? Because, I'm a producer. I can't even watch half of this thing. I can't even watch 1% of the work we put on YouTube. I can't even watch 0.1. I can't. I don't have the energy. So my thing is, the sabotage going on with Red Circle. What we're seeing with Red Circle. It will touch everybody. A lot of people can say, oh, the OG, they're not letting people bring their film. Who is talking to these people? I guess the people at the top just enjoy to be at the top, while they look down at the people in the middle or the people at the bottom. How do we progress as an industry? We come here, talk about Nollywood. It's because we clearly love Nollywood. It's not because we can't talk about tech. It's not because we can't talk about tech. It's because we love this industry. Red Circle film is beautiful, by the way. But me as a producer, I see what's going on there. And I'm like, that's when people say, when would you put your movie? I would rather spend 50 million in a movie and put it on YouTube. I don't like stress. I don't borrow money from anybody. If they have a new filmmaker to show themselves, let them. If the movie is bad, let the audience decide. But I went to watch the movie. But if you see how people at the cinema, Film One, are treating people that are coming to watch the movie, they persuade you to watch something else. Oh, it's not going to come on. Oh, the theater room, they're still cleaning it. They're not going to clean it in the next 2 hours. A film that people already have ticket for. Again, people that know these distributors are supposed to be having conversation with them. But guess the conversation they're having with them? They're the ones sabotaging this whole thing. We talk about this thing in our room. I've seen OG where my aunt caught. There's a particular OG. He's a guy. He trains young people. I'm sure most of you know who I'm talking about. I've seen this OG talk about other filmmakers, and fear catching me that day. And that day I realized, I'm gonna make everybody just do what you gotta do. When I say, and I'm coming from the experience of tech world and also film. People come to people and say, oh, would you invest in my film? How am I supposed to invest in your film? How are we supposed to invest in this industry? How? The people at the top are lying about the numbers? We know how it goes, really. And I've said enough without saying too much, but I clearly, I'm sure most people know where I'm going to. So my last thing is, are we already having that YouTube fatigue? Because again, this bubble where, and I cannot blame anybody, everybody's hustling. This bubble where we have actors being producers. What is coming is bad than what is at the back. What is coming is really, really bad. It's awful. When we have actors suddenly join into the realm of producing, the corners that are being caught are awful. I'm looking at the thing, I'm irritated. I feel like regurgitated. Like, what the hell is this? And guess what? They will have the numbers because they have the audience. They would have the number. It's not per se about the quality. And I think I've been on this space before where I've had the issue where people say, and I'm eating my word right now, where I didn't want what goes on YouTube to be called low quality. But Makawai, as of 2025, even me, I know what's going on YouTube is just low quality. People say anytime you have all this, I have an rental equipment house in Lekki here. And people will say, you have all this, you have all that. Why are you not shooting? It's because even me, I'm looking at what is on YouTube. I'm like, what's this? Kilele. Am I supposed to come and compete with this? Quality wise, I can't do it though. I get calls. Oh, you've done YouTube before people were doing YouTube. That one doesn't move me. I like to just chill, eat my money, and don't be stressed. But what's going on out there? How do we build this ecosystem? How? How do we let the people put in money to go into cinema make their money? And my heart goes out to Nora. Nora. My heart goes out to them, their team. They're losing money by the hour. They're losing money by the day. They're losing money for every show. It hurts. Like literally hurt. The people that would rather save the industry would rather be on the goddamn Twitter doing Twitter bant, sobbing each other. Share stupidly. If you have something to say, come out and say it with your chest now. You guys are the people messing things around. Amazon came. You guys left. Even the people that collected big job in Amazon, we know them. All of them have now run to YouTube. So are you trying to say you didn't see YouTube before? Are you confirming what we already know? These are the big people that Amazon gave title to. They no longer have a job now. All of them have gone to YouTube. It's just to show you that everybody knows what's happening in the cinema. Everybody clearly knows. So I yield my mic. That was on my chest. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I guess this space was for you, and okay, quite a few things. I have a few things I can add on top of that, and I think my heart goes out to a lot of the people in Red Circle, a lot of the cast members, a lot of them and I'm sure a lot of the crew members as well. I have I have people who are involved in Red Circle that I really like, and I really wish for them to do well. There are two people involved that I know when this was happening to other people, it was Kikiki, it was jokes, it was Bants.
Yes. We saw that when that was happening. Now it has come to your door. And that's why I can't really say anything about it online, because I'm like, now it's at your door. Now it's at your door. Those people dogging you out were your mentors back in the days. Now they're dogging you out. They're dogging you out. When it comes to money, ain't nobody really give a fuck about anybody. They can come for your throat.
That's the thing about this situation, because I think at this point people were thinking, when this thing used to happen to the Aimo Fest, it was, is art film now. What do you expect? Right? And then when it happened to Mildred's film, it was, that's, like your film is not it's not like popular, it's not like, still not mainstream. I don't know, whatever. I can't even remember what the things they were using, but I remember, Jade did a thread on how, like, when I can't remember, a couple of people. So at that time, Mildred spoke out about, obviously what was going on, the practices and all of that, how it was unfair. And I remember Oge also adding her voice about how, like, too many producers are keeping quiet, and if this is expected, if even big producers even producers are keeping quiet, that there's big problem, or they're like, kind of, who's going to speak? And I remember Jade doing a thread. I don't do shit. I'm just going to tell you what I remember from the thing, and people can go check around the time. I remember Jade doing a thread about how that's not playing. I honestly, because I went to reread that thread recently, and I'm not I'm not quite sure what Jade was doing in that thread, aside from doing some both sides in, or like, it's not really that bad. Yes, we have issues. Yes, we have problems, but I don't know what the but was there for. And, yeah, I remember a few of the people who don't like Mildred because certainly, she has cooked,
Ruffled.
she has ruffled feathers in Nollywood. They thought that was an opportunity for them to clown, insult, sob, laugh, mock her. Because everybody thinks, well, I don't make this kind of movies that other people make.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen to me. I'm guessing that's what was going through their head, right? I make movies for the Nigerians. They will get me. They will understand me. They will love me. All right. Okay. And to those people, don't care about them. It's not, I don't feel any sympathy for them. Whatever is happening to them can happen to them. Nora was one of them. AK was one of them. It's just difficult for me to feel sympathy for them. But yeah, otherwise, a lot of people in the red circle, yeah, a lot of them are like one of my queen is there, Folu, Ibrahim, I really wish for him to do well and stuff, like he's there. So there are people who I want there, and I hope, and to be honest, this is not the end of the line. Hopefully, let's see what Now does with this, internationally. Hopefully it picks up. Hopefully things happen.
It's not the end of it, but it sends a message.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the people
To
the people coming behind.
But ages
To the
ago.
people in
Exactly.
production, it sends a clear
Exactly.
message. I pulled out of a cinema run in 2018. There's nothing the distributor did not call me. There's no job they didn't give me. That it's the company's blue picture. Me, I know. If I come here, me, I talk my own. They have not born anybody father that will come and they say, hey, editor. If they born you where, I say with my own facts and my own money I spend. I don't look for distributor. There's no name they didn't call me. There's no emails I didn't get because I was a new producer. Yeah. I didn't come and meet you now. You're the one that said you wanted to take me to cinema. And it's still within my right to read everything. I said, you know what? This ain't going to work for me. I walked away. They send me messages. They send me emails. They make calls. They did this till today. No, but blacklist your father. You can't blacklist me. If they collect money from investor now and say they go blacklist me, nobody will want to talk to me. This is not a child's play. This is not kids. We all think if we kiss enough ass, if we kiss enough ass, if we kiss enough asses, it wouldn't touch us. It will touch you. Because you will get tired of the stink and the funk that comes from kissing asses. One day you want to speak. And they'll tell you, shut the fuck up, because you've been kissing ass. You've been in the rooms where they're dishing other people. This same person, this same director, producer, I have been there where he's talking about the same person you just mentioned that was going about a nonentical thread. I've seen them bash themselves. And it let me know the toxicity is just crazy. Again, it's about business for me at the end of the day. Looking at it, what they have done to Red Circle, they didn't stand for Red Circle. What they have done for Red Circle is it has sent a clear message to the rest of us. So I guess there's gonna be a lot of YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube page coming in the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years because nobody knows where we're going. Everybody's in panic mode. Everybody, from top to bottom. From the biggest to the smallest, everybody's in panic mode. Everybody. Because again, investors don't want to put dollars and get Naira. At the end of the day, when you reverse it back, there's no gain there. You're not going to deal with that. And you now deal with principalities and power. I wish everybody involved. I wish them good luck. Don't let me hold the line.
Thank you. Yeah, Elizabeth.
Okay, when I even raised my hand, to be honest, I don't know what I wanted to say. I think I'll be cackling since because EL is making me laugh. There's nothing that I want to say on this call that we've not said before. The only thing I will say now is everybody should just enjoy this. Everybody should enjoy this. I don't want to use the word destruction, so I'll use the word decline. Everyone should just enjoy this decline. It's everything is cyclical, right? And it's unfortunate that consumer behavior patterns, so many things will change in this period. That's the unfortunate thing, because even while we're in a cyclical, whatever this thing is, this decline, this slump, things will change. The consumer behavior will change, the taste will change, reaction to market will change. Myself and what kept me up, we sort of like started an independent research sometime in January from these our calls. I think we said something Christmas, something around December, around where is the data, right? So we set to do some research of ours, some independent research that is not funded by any exhibitor or anybody, out of our own pockets. And when we release the insights, it will be quite informative. Whatever cyclical period that we are in, everybody should just, in quote, enjoy. But the thing is, everybody should also be ready for when there will be a resurgence, which I don't see it happening in 2-3 years. I don't know what the Tinubu administration is going to look like, but it will happen at some point. That's one. Two, I wanted to talk about this whole cinema business. I wasn't on the call. Hey, please, can you hear me? Let me first confirm.
Yes.
I have a thing of talking to myself. Okay. So, I wasn't on the call the last time we did that, when we were discussing Red Circle. I came late, but I also didn't drop my opinion. I remember that sometime on my timeline, I tweeted something around this film that we've been advertising for 6 months. When are they going to drop the trailer? When are they going to do the traditional way and drop a trailer or a synopsis? So 2 things here. Yes. One thing I've realized, even when the big 2 elephants are fighting, something usually happen if your film is intriguing enough, really good and organic enough, it will push back. And I'm using Ayinla as an example. Ayinla did not show in all the cinemas in the country. In fact, it did not show some parts of it didn't show in the east, southeast, south. It didn't show some part of the north. It only showed in Abuja. And the excuse is that it's a predominantly Yoruba film. Nobody's going to watch it. I find that very confusing, but anyways. And even though Ayinla was a legacy project, I use the word legacy because it's not your usual drama. It's biography, and biographies are hardly the most interesting thing to watch on TV. Ask anybody. They'll tell you, like, biographies might be, some are interesting if your protagonist in real life is somebody that is that interesting, right? So this is a legacy project. It's from Tune Kelani. It's been known to be this, that. Production is this, that. Even as when they were going to the cinema, Daddy was still missing the accent on the Anila wrong, writing something wrong of that. But my point is that the film eventually made 80 million. It's not dramatic. It's not melodrama. It's not Hollywood. It's not action. It's not your fun time. But it went on the weight of Ayinla. People will remember. And Ayinla Omowura died, I think, in the 80s. It wasn't even 90s. So a lot of people probably were not even alive when he died. A lot of people. So it's again legacy project. But eventually, minimal screening still got 80 million when dollar was around 400 naira or 350, sometime around then. I think it was 350. And it made 80 million. My point is this. There's marketing, there's targeted marketing, and there is experiment. I believe the Red Circle folks, their heart was in a good place and were experimenting, which is great because honestly, it takes guts to come out and experiment knowing this is your first film. Fantastic. I just feel like they didn't do a lot of it with data or market insights. That's one. That's two. and I don't know about anybody because we're not reviewing Red Circle yet, so I'm going to try not to spoil it for a lot of people. I think when they did that, a couple of preview, what Film One was doing was they were probably not even Film One. Film One was on. No, I think now distributed. I think what a lot of the cinemas were doing was trying to gauge response, and it was easier for them to hit at these newbies because they'll figure that fine if the response is not what they were expecting, and this is not one of the OGs, people who they can give a grace of 1 week to, they are going to go after them because it's easier, because they would feel like these people are in quote easy to bully and nobody's standing up for them. And I felt like the fact that the crowd is primarily driven by people on Twitter, which is not a bad thing because, again, word of mouth is one of the things a lot of people, respondents, will tell you that they like that gets them going, get them to see a film. I feel like the film wasn't organic enough. And if this film was exceptional, again, I'm sorry for expecting exceptionality from everyone. If it was exceptional, it would have been easier to push back on. I'll just tell them to take this as a lesson. Just take it as your coming of age moment and try to go back to the drawing room. As someone nasty thread, I use the word nasty because it was written by somebody, I think one of the filmmakers, Isioma. She's fond of saying all this. I don't know where that baby, she should be millennial, right? She thought of doing this thing, I suffer so you must suffer thing. She wrote a thread that was similar. I saw it in passing. Somebody tweeted it in my TL. And I read through, and it was a thing about how she learned from Naz Onuzo, how you should wait for your time. It reeks of, I really wanted to tell her, shut the fuck up. But I'm like, no, I've stopped looking for trouble on Twitter, at least for now. And let me keep it moving. And I'll just tell the young filmmakers, don't listen to these people. You can know, because the industry expects you to conform. This is it. You either push back or you conform. And do like Isioma, wait your time. Wait 10 years before you release your film at the cinema. It's fine, right? You can do it our own way so that you tell the people coming in and say, do it my own way, wait, conform. You can conform, it probably gets you something. But I'm just going to tell you, the industry right now is not what it used to be. So you either be consistent and wait for when that cycle goes back to another up. It will bump up at some point, but not now. It's currently going through a slump. So those are the two things I just want to talk about. When I remember the rest, I will talk about it later. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Elizabeth. Tara, do you have something in your mind?
Yes, I do actually. Good evening, everybody. Well, Chris, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
I'm going to start with the fact that when they were building this new, in quotes, Nollywood, they did not have a vision. They just wanted to make money. And when the money came, the people that were there grabbed the money. GEG administration released a lot of money to Nollywood at some point for them to build. In fact, at some point, the Bank of Industry sponsored a few movies. I remember Isoken was one of the movies that the Bank of Industry sponsored for Nollywood to make. When Prime and Netflix came, they partnered with filmmakers who were already making names, who were already making waves. I remember the first Netflix advert in Nigeria, they had Mohabudu, they had Kunle Afolayan, they had Genevieve, they had Kate Enshaw, they had people, Akiomoto Show and all those people from Nigeria, hoping to do something really special. But for some reason, our people were delivering substandard projects. Case in point, Chief Daddy 2. I don't think I can forgive anybody on that project for that project. Now, fast forward to cinema. We've had this cinema called Cinema Challenge. The same challenges they had during the home video time, that distributors and marketers were banning actors. Now, we have this same issue with cinemas and distributors being the gods. And I say it again that it is very impracticable not to have a pseudo monopoly when you have distributors and cinemas in the same chain. I'll give an example of Film One. Film One is a cinema, and they are also now they are also producing movies. It is almost impossible not to have some sort of some sort of stifling, basically. for other movies who are not in those things. Now, I'll give an example. Last year December was a very, very clear example of the fights, and I'll give it. Funke Akindele and Tony Abraham used film one. AY also released this movie after a long time off the box office, and he used Silverbird and Genesis distributors. Mercy Aigbe used Cinemax that doesn't have a cinema. When Film One and Genesis started fighting, they were fighting and putting their own movies at prime time. Mercy Aigbe didn't have a cinema. So she got the littlest of the slots, and she was the one who made the loss of the money. She didn't say so much because many fans in Nollywood are not very data driven. They are more emotional and thinking about the person that is their fave. So they will take of it as an attack. But the thing is that she made the loss last year from Nollywood projects because our distributor didn't have a cinema, and it should not be so. Cinemas collect 50% of these people's gross income, and they should have a responsibility to promote these movies regardless of who is the distributor. Which is why I think that the lack of structure and arrangement is a problem. There has to be set duties and responsibilities that gives you the audacity to collect 50%. There has to be set duties and responsibility that gives you the temerity to collect 25% as a distributor. Because why are you cinemas collecting 50% from a movie you are actively sabotaging? It makes absolutely no sense at all. That is what now all the filmmakers that were in Prime, that were in Netflix, they need to ask them questions. What happened? Where did the budget they gave you guys go? Whom did you spend? Because we need an actual transparent inquiry into Nollywood. Because you cannot fumble those kind of big projects and expect it to be okay. Yes, Nigerian market is poor, but if you had made proper good movies, they will have broken into world markets, and they will have had demand outside the country that regardless of whatever disposable income is in Nigeria would not matter. At the end of the day, it will even come back as a multiplier effect into the Nigerian economy. They did not do that. Rather, all of them sat down, were writing mediocre. I don't like insulting people's work, but some of those works were actual mediocrity. Now we move because they realized that when they realized that there was a problem with their Netflix and Prime, they started coming back to cinemas. And guess what? They had no marketing plan. They were just doing as they wished. Now all of them are on YouTube. Everybody has a YouTube channel. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry has a YouTube channel. The same story. One writer was telling one story to 3 different people. Why? Because they are paying writers 70,000 naira. A crew member died the other day. Nobody said a word about it. These are things that need to be organized. These are things that need to be arranged. These are things that we need to set in place as an industry before we can even move forward. We cannot have an industry where everything is mediocre. We cannot move forward on mediocrity. South Africa doesn't produce as many movies as we do, but they take their time and they actually deliver. I mean, we don't have to have I don't know why everybody wants to be a producer. Why you can't just stick to one? You're an actor, be an actor. Even if you are multi-talented, at least you should be able to have a strength over the other. And this kind of cinema blacklisting and all that. In fact, it calls for the industry itself to come together and fight it. But because they are also, and they have that wicked Nigerian spirit of professors. In my lecture, I spent 10 years doing PhD, was also spent 5 years doing PhD. That same wicked spirit is in there because there's no reason why Ishama should go on a platform to be telling us that they should have waited for their time. Who is the appointer of the time? But these are things that we do. We don't encourage innovation. We don't encourage things. We have this grab it spirit. It's just a very terrible thing that we do over here. Look at what happened with Mami Wata. Such terrible things that we have done. Movies that we could have given elevation. Movies that we could have helped us appreciate our art. We kill it. Elevate mediocrity. And then turn around and complain that there is a problem. It makes no sense. In any form. Now, to the YouTube saturation, everybody now is on YouTube. Every single person is on YouTube. Both legendary and upcoming. Saturating YouTube content within the same audience. At the end of the day, we are going to have the same problem. Have they thought about the problem? I mean, I'm very, very pained because this is an industry that I followed as a kid. I've enjoyed the movies. I've cussed out a lot of them. And we see when they started this YouTube thing, I from my own recollection, Gideon was like the first YouTube big thing that we had then. It was really cool. People were not many, but it was really cool, dedicated to a lot of a certain thing. You're going to have a series coming out, few movies. We should have a standard. We should have a standard because right now, cinemas will get away with it. This will get away with it. They will still collect 50% and 25% for doing absolutely nothing. Lack of standardization, lack of the will for excellence, being in cliques and not be able to say the truth. Those are fundamental problems that Nollywood has to get rid of before we can even think of moving forward. Because all the bounce back, as Elizabeth said, won't happen overnight. There has to be deliberate efforts to make it bounce back. Otherwise, we are just sitting down waiting for a miracle that will never happen. That's just the truth. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Uchenna.
Okay, I can't remember what I wanted to say. I think I wanted to talk about the fact that somebody was saying yesterday that Netflix had reversed the geo-blocking, or that they were gradually reversing the geo-blocking on certain titles, and it looked as if they were trying to give Nollywood another chance. Does anybody know about that? There were no citations for this. Somebody just claimed it.
I don't know until we start seeing the fruits of that. I'm not inclined to believe it, to be honest.
Neither am I inclined to believe it too. I only saw the tweet, but there was no source, there was no article reference. We just saw the tweets. So we are open. Let's see they implement it first.
Yeah. Anyway, is there anything else on anyone's mind, or does anybody want to discuss anything they've been watching recently? Is that? I've not watched anything. No, we've been doing our life. Okay.
See, I want to say something. I
Okay.
don't know if it's a topic. It's not an actual topic, but it's an offshoot of what EL mentioned around the YouTube. And honestly, remember that I think this sometime last year, any small thing, Vanessa and I be like, no, we're watching YouTube. And I'm laughing because, oh my God, I've not been able to watch anything. And apart from the fact that I've not been watching anything because life has been busy lately. But anytime I'm like, let me unwind, let me go look for something to watch, I am met with so much disappointment. I'm like, God, don't let me die in this funk. Because it's definitely not me. I can never be the problem. I promise you. The problem is Nollywood, because even the quality, as somebody has said, the quality is never the problem for me before, because I really did not used to watch some channels like from scratch. I would nothing carry me to some channels to watch. But even the ones that I felt, oh, maybe they're actually a bit okay. Everybody is reaching their wits and tail end of success. I'm like, maybe you guys are experiencing some burnout and it's okay to take a break. But if profit is what, and I really can't blame them, because look at the YouTube model. It's really it's a sweatshop model, really. It's churning out quantity and meaning quality assurance. So many things will suffer on the altar of churning out with the little time that they have to shoot, to edit, to even credit to, because now it's on YouTube, so they can't use music. So everybody use this wonky music rubbish that they got from one free. Everything is sounding so weird. And it's so sad. Cause I tried to I renewed it was so bad that I renewed Showmax to continue a show that I discontinued in 2022. I stopped watching Covenant in 2022 because I thought I'm sorry, I'm not just buying the 260 way we write something and just kill off every single character. And I really got tired of it. I'm like, you know what? I'm no longer watching AM Covenant. 2025 actually renewed my Showmax to go and complete AM Covenant. And while I was watching it, I was reminded the reason why I stopped watching it in the first place. But I powered through because, I have a ship that I'm rooting for in the show. But it's that bad because it feels like there's really, and I think we also had this conversation like some 2 years ago, and it was around the model of Netflix, the VOD. It's apart from the fact that, I mean, it introduced some form of oversaturation. You're tired, you experience a fatigue, if there's that paradox where it feels like you have nothing to watch, even though Netflix has like 1 billion things for you to watch, and you just say, oh, there's nothing for me to watch. Even though you've not watched half of the things, even a quarter or a tenth of the things that are there. And it's very unfortunate. As Terra said, I mean, everybody has gone back to the cinemas now. And honestly, for their own sake, so I went back to the cinemas to go and watch a Nigerian film this year. I've watched, I think, 2 Nigerian films. That should make it 3. I'm actually proud of myself. The last time I watched Nigerian films at the cinema was like 2023 or 2022. I can't remember now. But at the same time, it just feels like you're being fed crumbs. And again, you're voting with your money. But I have to pay 8,500, 14,000, that's plus concessions, to watch a film. I feel like I should deserve some form of excitement. So I don't know where Nollywood is. Nollywood is experiencing what the audience too is experiencing. There is a slump everywhere, man. And I don't know how to help us. What do we do? I mean, it's not my problem to fix, but me as an audience, as a stakeholder in this industry, I deserve something good.
You're in the wrong business. You're looking for something good. You manage in this place. But yeah, it's funny. I think there's a specific thing about that happens when you talk about Nollywood movies week after week. Even though like some people think almost like what Elizabeth said is that something this started with is that where she said we've said a lot of these things before. But there's something about noticing week after week how like any prediction or sort of assumption we make within time will be revealed whether, we're in the right place or not. And often we will self-correct. And that's why people will notice things a lot later than us, because week after week we're doing check-in. Hey, this thing that we said last week, how's it holding up? So it's not really a surprise to me that we are where we are now, because a lot of people have been saying this thing and we've been discussing these things for weeks. It looks like the time has finally come. This one, Elizabeth, that you're asking where the solution is supposed to come from, how will we know? Because we have been asking this question for years. The people involved, the people who have power to do the
I think
thing.
this is the crazy thing, right? This is the crazy thing. Since we started this call, we've been having all these random calls. Oh, Nollywood, which way? And we will say some of these things. And, Naz or Nuzwe especially, because if Naz has no hater, I'm gone, man. That guy especially will be on his timeline saying that, oh, you people are lying about Nollywood. We are strong. We're making money. We're ticking upwards. And people are like, yeah, we're making money. And remember last year too, when they were like, oh, Netflix is gone. And Daddy especially. I find it so strange. This behavior was like, she especially too, she came on the timeline to like, oh, you people are laughing at us or something. There was that thread she made of like, oh, people are laughing, but let me tell you, just keep working. They are not going anywhere. It is when they come and they say you've been working, they'll give you the money. I'm like, wagwan. Because these guys, I don't know, is it that we enjoy, I know we like flattery and platitudes and stuff like that, but at some point, you might have to actually exit that stage left and come home, come down to earth and tell yourself the truth. Because we've already veiled the difference between reality and performance. Like, Everybody thinks their life is an actual performance because they direct a film. You cannot just keep performing. At some point, you have to. Even your papa used to say one thing, that in your major kimpa, meaning two people. If there is a lie between two people, the person telling a lie, we either know they are telling a lie, or the person that they are lying to, we will know that somebody is lying to them. But there is no way a lie can get lost between two people. Either the lying or the liar. One person must know there is a lie there. But it seems as though both the liar and the lie, everybody, they are pretending. And now we see what's happening with Red Circle. And so now the chicken roosting and home and all other stories just going on. We have we have been telling truths, but it's just sad because now I can't watch good film. Because instead of collecting truth and go and fix your things and let me be watching film, now I have to be coming here too. I'll finish with school now. I will not have anything to do with my life. I will not have to be chasing career. Is that fair? No. All work and no play makes Elizabeth a dull girl. Thank you.
Oh, all right. Okay. I think on that note, this is like probably our fifth Nollywood doom and gloom session of the year. Anyway, but that's fine. I think next week I'll be a bit more prepared than this week, of something to talk about. Maybe we'll do something a little bit more upbeat. But thanks to everybody who came to listen to us. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the episode. If you enjoyed listening and would like to join live, just follow us on Twitter at IrokoCritic and join us every Sunday, 6 p.m. West African time on our spaces.